Okay, so this month's lick utilizes two of my favorite phrases to play, and it creates a nice one-bar triplet fill. We're phrasing in groups of 9, and then that leaves us 2 groups of 9, and then we have 1 group of 6 to finish. And it utilizes right, left, left, which I've talked about in a lot of phrases and vocabulary ideas on the site. And this one has that. And it also has foot, right, left, which is a favorite phrase of mine. Such a simple phrase, such an easy phrase to use because the bass drum is just playing quarter notes or eighth notes, depending on how you're phrasing it, but it's just like on the downbeat. Leading with the bass drum is probably the best way to put it. And then there's so many interesting things you can do with the hands, with accents, to make it sound much more interesting than it actually is because it's just a group of 3. So the phrase is, with those 2 together, up to speed sounds like this. There's a few variations that we can do with that last group of 6, like I did there. We'll get to that in a second. So the group of 9 is this. So all accents except the last 2 lefts, which are ghost notes. So that's the group of 5, right, left, that I use a lot, especially in triplets. And then combined with the 3s. So we play that group of 9 twice. And then after that double left, we're then free with a clean group of 6 remaining to complete the bar, and we can do a few different things with that. The first version is that we carry on with foot, right, left. Making sure that we accent the left hand, because the right hand's on a tom, so technically you could say it's an accent, but we're not really playing a rim shot or playing the tom any harder than we need to, but we definitely are accenting that left hand to make it really stand out with a nice rim shot sound. So it's got a really nice flow to it, and it's also a nice challenge for the hands for dynamics, because we're having the left hand's having to do a lot of accenting, but then immediately go to the ghost notes. So that's a good challenge for your hand technique and your dynamics. And then some other things we can do with that remaining group of 6. Well, actually, there's another version which we can do where we orchestrate also the first bit. So instead of going, we can then move the left hand up. So that's something we can do. In this version, I wrote that, and then the same foot, right, left, but we phrase it around the toms. So. So I like doing that, having the, just continuing with foot, right, left, but we've got like a upside down in terms of the descending tom thing becomes low tom, high tom. And that can sound good at higher speeds. If you don't have a second floor tom, then you can just stay on this one. But this one has a nice flow to it involving some more toms. Even more challenging for the left hand because you're coming from a tom down to the snare drum like this and then having to play very, very quietly because we really don't want that little double left to be too loud. And then the final one I wrote down is a really nice one, change to that final group of 6. The beginning goes back to how we were doing it. But for the group of 6, we're going to start with a bass drum, which is going to, and then we're going to go single strokes, right, left. But because we're starting with a bass drum and then a right hand, that's actually flipping us to left hand lead with the single strokes, with the hands, which means we're going to finish with a left hand. So that's the final group of 6. Again, if you don't have a second floor tom, just use this one. But that has a really nice sound because you're starting with the bass drum, then you have a right hand which we're going to accent. It's optional to accent, but I like it when it's accent because it really pops out because it's not on the downbeat. So if we put it together, so a little faster. So that's tricky to play, particularly traditional grip, but just going around the toms like that and phrasing it like that. But it's got a really nice flavor to it. So that's the lick. You can utilize this in a bunch of different ways. So I'll try and do what I normally do with these Lick of the Month lessons, and I'll play around, play those variations, and then maybe try some other orchestration ideas.